Good morning. Acts chapter 20 contains every preacher's favorite passage. Starting at verse 7, it says, "On the first day of the week, when we met to break bread," so they were having church, first day of the week, Sunday, "Paul began to speak to the people." He started preaching. And because he intended to leave the next day, he extended his sermon until midnight. Verse 8, "Now there were many lamps in the upstairs room where we were meeting. A young man named Eutychus, who was sitting in the window, was sinking into a deep sleep while Paul continued to speak for a long time. Fast asleep, he fell down from the third story and was picked up dead. But Paul went down, threw himself on the young man, put his arms around him and said, 'Do not be distressed, for he is still alive.' Then Paul went back upstairs, and after he had broken bread and eaten, he talked with them a long time until dawn. Then he left." Now, I don't know, maybe this is proof texting, but it sounds like this is what happens when you fall asleep in church. Not only could it be fatal, but you might be resurrected and have to listen to the rest of the sermon. It said that he preached until morning. But now, seriously, Acts chapter 20 also contains the passage that should be every pastor's, well, and really every believer's valedictory speech, their final statement, their last word. Verse 26 says, "Therefore I declare to you today that I am innocent of the blood of you all, for I did not hold back from announcing to you the whole gospel of the Lord." At the end of his time, Paul is meeting with the Ephesian leaders, and he says, "I spent years with you, and I shared the gospel everywhere I went. If there is somebody who's not saved, it's not my fault. I shared the gospel with everybody I came into contact with, and I can go before the Lord with a clear conscience." Oh, that would be our final words. I can stand before the Lord with a clear conscience, knowing that I've shared the gospel with everybody I could. Friends, we may not be able to make up for missed opportunities in the past, but we can certainly make sure we don't miss any more opportunities, that we can share the gospel with all we come into contact with. Okay, let's take a moment and pray. Father, thank you that we have the privilege of sharing your good news, the gospel truth, with all those around us. Lord, we pray that you would help us to have the boldness and the courage to be able to share the love of Christ with all we